Hello guys, Spina here. So let's talk about the changes they made in V5 for the buffed units, and the changes are actually pretty dang good. So let's start from Jingliu. So they actually buffed Jingliu, and this is actually a pretty solid buff. I thought Jingliu was the weakest member out of the buffed units before these buffs, but after these buffs, things might be actually slightly different. Unfortunately, Steve will still rely on Hyacinth and Hyacinth with signature a lot. Without that, she won't have 100% uptime. But at least her damage numbers actually gonna be a lot more different. So let's look into it. So for Jingliu, her two major traces got changed. So her trace 2 actually went from just additional regenerating 15 energy to she will regenerate that 15 energy, and she will also regen extra 8 energy after using her ultimate. I think, is it her ultimate? I'm not really sure. Yeah, it's after her ultimate. So if she gets a 15% regen when she transforms into her spectral form, then after using her ult, she gets another 8 energy. I think it's pretty solid. This will make her rotations slightly smoother. But this is the major change. I think her trait 3 actually went from just being a damage increase to her ult to they actually removed that. And when you obtain CCG at max stack, so you need to have max stack CCG on her, Jingliu's next attack will ignore 25% of enemies' defense, and this is actually pretty solid, especially if you have her signature and you run the quantum set. Yes, so the quantum set Jingliu is gonna be back with this. And even if you don't run quantum set, this is actually solid change to her trace actually. Also, if you're a big whale, her E6 got buffed. Simply her CCG stacking, I think it got better. I mean, I think it's better. Yeah, it's got reduced. I think you need less CCG to get into her max stacks. And I think her ice penetration also went from 20 to 30%. So it's like an E6, so most of you won't even have it. But yeah, her E6 actually got buffed. But the main changes I saw on her trace 2 and 3. I think major trace 1, 2. But the trace 3, that defense ignore, is actually pretty huge. Unfortunately, to have 100% uptime, you still need Hyacinth with her signature. So without Hyacinth and signature, I don't think you can have 100% uptime. But it's still something, right? It's still pretty solid in my opinion. Now for Kafka and Silverwolf, it's only wording changes, so nothing in their kit changed, no multiplier changes, nothing. It's just some wording changes, nothing more. And that makes me happy because I really don't want them to nerf Kafka and Silverwolf. I don't know how she's escaping the nerf hammer from the Hoyo, because I have no idea. She's supposed to get nerfed, but she's not getting nerfed, and I'm okay with it because I actually have her. So you know what, I'm okay. Now for Blade. So for Blade, his taunt value on her skill actually went up. So yep, his taunt value using his skill is even higher now. So great, I think. Also, his ultimate damage multiplier got changed. Simply it got buffed. Simply his health losing ratio to his max health is now better. Simply you're gonna do more damage with his ult. Okay. Also, his trace 1 also got changed. It went from when Blade current HP percent is 50% of max or lower, the HP restore received from healing is increased by 20%. So simply they just removed that healing thingy and give him a damage boost on his ultimate with the amount of health he loses. That's it. They just changed his tree one. Also, his trace 2 actually got changed. I think it's like it got buffed technically. Simply the HP restore from healing is increased by 20%, and after receiving healing, the health amount will be converted to ultimate tally of HP loss. Simply his trace 2 will able to trigger his ulti damage and increase the ulti damage by even more. Simply you're gonna get more healing with your follow-up, and because of this extra healing, it will also consider as a HP loss on his ulti, and you're gonna do more damage. In short terms, his trace 2 will allow you to heal more and do more damage with his ult. So it's a pretty good buff to Blade. So Blade buffs, really good. Jingliu buffs, really good. Kafka and Silverwolf did not get changed, really good. I still don't know how Silverwolf is still not getting nerfed, so God knows how, why. Because in my opinion, if there's one character in this buff that needs a nerf, is like Silverwool, because she's actually way better than someone like Trippy at this point on so many teams. It's actually crazy. But at least, they are buffing the right units. I think Jingliu deserved the buff. Blade, I thought Blade was already strong, but these buffs will make him even stronger. So yep, that's it for the buff units. Simply they all got buffed, and some of them didn't go changes. And Kafka, I'm actually okay with Kafka not getting changes, because I think Kafka's in a solid situation, especially after Hisland's drop. I think Kafka will be pretty solid anyway. They did change her from just being a hyper carry / dot deck hyper carry to being a support hyper carry. So her being a support dot unit is actually pretty solid in my opinion. So overall, nice changes, and hopefully nothing changes on V6 and we actually get some solid units. So yep, that's it for the buff units, and hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.